Wake up, YouTube! My name is Juice, and welcome to episode 1 of the Juicy Ladder, where I will be releasing interesting battles I encounter as I struggle my way up the Showdown ladder. Now, if you haven't already noticed from the title of this video, this is an OU match, and remember that if you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. So let's hop right on in here. Now, looking at Swaggity's team, there are two things that really bother me. One is the Mew, and the other one is the Landorus. Mew is probably the more annoying one, mainly because it's just so many sets, it's so unpredictable, and it's just generally a pain in the butthole. But seeing Landorus, that's usually what my opponent wants to lead with, and when my opponent leads with Landorus, I like to lead with Rotom, mainly because my Rotom is Scarfed. So if Landorus outspeeds me, I know Landorus is Scarfed, and if he doesn't outspeed me, then he catches a Will-O-Wisp or a Hydro Pump to the face, which is the more preferred one. So let's hop right on in here. And it turns out that he does, in fact, lead with Landorus. That's great for me. And he catches a Will-O-Wisp right to the face. Burn Landorus is great. I love Burn Landorus's. But he goes into Venusaur here, so that scares me. I'm Scarfed. I have to switch out into Gothitelle. And he goes straight for the Sludge Bomb, which does way too much. And unfortunately, I don't kill with the Psyshock. So that is a dead Gothitelle. Sorry, Gothitelle. But that had to happen. Now going to Super Fab here, he predicts the Pin Missile here nicely and switches right into Landorus, also to get the special attack drop, the attack drop, but you'll see here that Mega Heracross is power. Like, even at -1 attack, Mega Heracross does a solid 25% to a Landorus. So that's definitely a thing, and I figured, you know what, this guy can't really touch me anyways, he can get his rocks up, whatever. Let me just get some more damage off before he turns into something that'll scare me out. And he goes into the Azumarill, and I figured I'm quite debuffed at this point. I wasn't 100% confident I could take this thing out at -1, everything. So I go ahead and switch into Rotom. I figured I didn't really need Rotom in this match. Let me just sack it, get back Super Fab in perfect health. And he kind of does the same play here. He goes into his Venusaur, which was at low health, sacks it, and goes back into his Azumarill, removing all the buffs. Or, I'm sorry, removing all the debuffs. And so now he makes an interesting play to go back into Azumarill. Maybe he thought he could outspeed me, but my Super Fab does have some nice speed investments, and I make sure that it can outspeed Azumarill, so that's definitely a thing. And he makes a really nice play here. He baits out my T-Tar with his Mew, and so he can get this Landorus T-Tar combination, which is definitely the situation he wanted, but his Landorus is burned, so T-Tar really wasn't scared of Landorus anymore. I thought, let me just get some damage off. He goes into this thing, and I figured at this point he would want a Will-O-Wisp, but at the same time, I really wanted the rocks off my field, and I figured that Excadrill wasn't going to be doing any sweeping anyways, looking at the rest of his team. So I go ahead and Rapid Spin, get the rocks off, and now Mew just decides to be a bitch. He just goes ahead and Soft Boil stalls me as I get my rocks up, but now I realize that Excadrill can't do nearly enough to take this thing out, so I decided to switch out, and he predicts this nicely and goes straight for the Will-O-Wisp, and luckily that misses, because if that had hit, I'd be in some trouble, because he has a Latias in the back there, and I need a strong Tyranitar to take care of that Latias. But he misses, and I go right back into my Excadrill, and I get the flinch, and I die to a burn. So all's good, all's good. I go into Heracross here. I'm scared him away with the Pin Missile. I figured he didn't have Sidekick, but I make another misplay here. He goes into Huron, and I forgot that Scarftron was a thing. And it makes sense that he would be Scarfed in hindsight, since, you know, why would he go into Heatron otherwise? But that just completely slipped my mind. I went for this close combat. I died to an Overheat, and now I'm a little bit scared. I mean, I figured, you know what, I might as well just set up on that Heatron. You know, seeing as how he was Scarfed. And he goes into the Mew, and the Mew uses Taunt, which is a very interesting play on my part. I thought this little bitch would go ahead and Will-O-Wisp me, and that would just cripple me, and that probably would have been game. But he actually taunts me, which I'm not too sure I agree with, because now I could kill the Mew, and I can go into my T-Tar, and I guess in this game it didn't really matter anyways. Since I did predict his Latias switch, maybe he was banking on his Latias to get some work done on my Dragonite, but it didn't really matter. I predicted it, went for the crunch, it's a dead Latias, and at this point it's definitely game, since a Scarfed Heatron can't really touch, has to go for a move that can kill both of my Pokemon, so there's nothing he could have done. That was game, but that was a good game too. Good match, Swaggity. I appreciated that. Throughout this match I made a bunch of misplays, but thanks to my team, I did pull through. But again, thank you, Swaggy. That was an awesome match. And remember that if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in the ratings, if you're one of those people and you just want to know my ranking or my opponent's ranking, you can. I believe there is a way to do that on Showdown, but I will probably throw something in the description box below. So check that out if you want. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace out.